bro, where's the photo that you promised me, huh? You know it's been 2 weeks already, right?
Okay,
Brother, you better give it to me now.
Okay.
Hey, how long you want me to wait? You know how long I waited for that picture?
Hello everyone, welcome back to How to Shoot, and as promised from the previous episode, we are going to be showing you guys the full flow of how I retouch portraits, from liquefying, removing blemishes, and also using the frequency separation method to ensure the skin is smooth. So let's dive right into it now. And the first thing to do is, of course, create a new layer by pressing Ctrl J and moving on to liquefying or slimming down our subject. So go filter, liquefy. And always remember, don't liquefy too much, just a tiny bit will do, because you do not want to transform the subject that you're actually shooting into another person. So yeah. Here, just push in a little bit of the jaw. There's not much to liquefy on this photo itself because the clothes he's wearing on that day, and I think everything is just okay already. So yeah, liquefying, the number one tips and the only tips for liquefying is to understand the human body. Alright, understand what is too fake or what is real. So just don't go overboard, okay? Unless it is actually requested by your client, you know. So right after liquefying, what we are going to be doing is, again, on the previous episode, I have actually taught you guys how to remove blemishes, so you can actually watch that episode back. So right now, I'm just going to speed this whole process up of removing blemishes. Alright, apart from removing blemishes, do take care of some of the stray hairs also, which if you find it distracting, just remove it. If it's not, then I think it's fine. So yeah. Okay, we are done with the blemish remover. Let's look at the before and after. I'll just zoom it in closer a little bit, and this is after, this is before, and after. And of course, before being liquefied and after being liquefied. So just a tiny bit will do, okay? Don't go overboard. This is what I always tell my other students. Okay, don't go overboard with portrait retouching. Make it as natural as possible. Alright, so we are done with the blemish remover, and let me just show you guys the difference between the original photo and what we have done so far. There you go. This is the after, and this is before, after, before, after. And the next step is gonna be using frequency separation to smoothen out the skins. So what we are gonna be doing right now is to hold down the Control, Alternate, Shift, and E. This will actually merge all the layers underneath and create a new layer. And then create another layer using the Control J. So what we need to do is, number one, of course, you have to rename this layer. The bottom layer is going to be the low frequency layer, where it contains all the colors. And the top layer is going to be all your texture, which is the high frequency layer. So I'll rename this to high and texture. Why? Show you guys later. Then after that, select the low frequency layer, go to filter, go to blur, and then go Gaussian blur. Okay, pull this slider all the way to the left, select an area that has got skin texture in it, okay, and then gradually pulling it to the right until you see all the texture is gone. So also depending on what camera you are using, and how many megapixels that it has. Okay, so right now I'm actually using the Lumix S1R, which has about 47.3 megapixels. So yes, the amount of detail is actually much more. So yes, until the texture is just, I would say, slightly visible, not completely gone. For a more natural look, just let's set it to 8, right? And then go to your high frequency layer. Okay, go to image, apply image. This is why I said you have to rename the layers, because from here you have to select your low frequency layer, right? And then don't need to do anything here. Blending mode, if you are at any other stuff, okay, just go to subtract, scale to offset 128, and just press OK. And then blending mode, change from normal to linear light. So if you notice, nothing changes to the original photo. Let me just group this. Press Ctrl G, or you can just drag it to this folder here. Right? Toggle it on, off, on, off. You will not see any difference at all. Okay, now let's start on smoothing out the light, smoothing out the shadow and everything. So what we need to do is go to the low frequency layer, use your patch tool, and of course turn off the high frequency layer and just patch it. See bumps like this, you have to smoothen it out. All you need to do is just go select. Do not worry much about the texture, because the high frequency layer is going to fix that, because that is where all your texture are right now. And be very careful, if it is the hair, don't patch it away. Alright, what we are doing right now is to actually make sure that the light fall, the shadow are even. See all these lines here, you wouldn't want that. Another good practice is to always toggle on back the high frequency layer so that you can see what you're actually really working on. Okay, yeah. See? Let's go before, after, before and after. Okay, so I'll just speed this up and then to show you the result. Alright, we are done. So let me just show you guys the before and after. Before, just zoom it in. After, before and after, before and after. So you can see right now how evenly and how smooth the skin is already, but yet there is still texture. And Calvin here don't look like a wax statue. Alright, moving on, next is gonna be the dodge and burn. What I'm gonna be showing you today is a non-destructive method. All you need to do is to create a new layer and change the layers blending mode to soft light. And remember to reset your brush by pressing D and it will be reset. Remember, black is to darken, white is to lighten. So press X to toggle between black or white. X, 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 X. So to brighten the highlights, remember to also switch opacity 100, flow to just maybe 3 or 4%, it's up to you, but go lower and start painting on the highlights. Alright, so we are done with the quick dodging and burning. And why am I using this technique today is because I find that this is actually a very quick technique, and at the end of the day, if you do not like the output, you can actually always reduce the opacity of it. So like right now, I think I just went a little bit too over. So all you need to do is just reduce the opacity to whatever that I think is good. Let's look at the before and after, before, after, before and after. Okay, we're done with the full flow of retouching. And right now you can actually do anything else with the photo. For example, adding on filters, adding on effects in it. And like from here, I would like to correct just one more thing before I finish this episode. Is on the color tint that we get from the window that we were shooting. So I have a very green tint over here. So what we need to do is very easy. Go on to Hue Saturation, reduce the saturation, and that's it. So much better. See? I'll zoom it in. But of course, I do not need to do any masking in this photo because there's no other green area. So if there is, then just do a mask over it. Or paint it with black. I'm just showing you guys this example, but then I do not think that it will actually affect the photo. So all you need to do is just paint black over it, increase the opacity, increase the flow as well. So if there's any other greens in the photo that you do not want it to be affected at all, do just paint over with black. And the only area that will be affected is going to be just the part which is in white. See? Simple. And the next thing is I'm going to brighten back this a little bit more. And we are all done. Alright, so let me show you guys the before and after. This is before, zoom in closer again, and after. Before and after. Before and after. Zoom in more. Before, wow. After. Before, after. This is how you do a natural portrait retouching. Don't always go overboard. That is my only advice while you retouch a portrait. Okay, to make sure that your subject stays as your subject and not someone else. Okay? Alright guys, I hope you have actually enjoyed the video today and also learned a little bit or two about portrait retouching. But do stay tuned on our next episode because we will be showing you guys the stabilization capabilities of the all-new GH6. It will definitely be an exciting one. Right? See you. Bye bye. Remember, I am Victor Tong. Remember to subscribe to our How to Shoot channel. Bye bye.